Major sounds in the kitchen cooking up, boy.
Yo, what's happening, YouTube fam? You already know who it is and what it is, man. Check this out, man. I just seen this video. I seen a clip of this video, right? And it was something that I really wanted to touch on, man. I wanted to give a slight reaction to. We may not even watch the whole video because I think it says that it's at 23 minutes, and that's entirely too long for me. But I wanted to touch on this because when I started this podcast, I said that I was going to talk about everything. Now, lately, I've been focusing on mainly UGA sports, but every now and again, I see things that I want to touch on and talk about. Some may like my views on it, some may not. But yeah, man, let's just get into it, man. And I'm gonna definitely give my reaction on how I feel about this video. So let's go.
Aunt, we are so blessed to have you here with us today on The Griot. I want to start, dear, with something that we share, which is that we are both attorneys by trade.
And I'm sorry, before I even get into it, the girl, her name is Ebony K. Williams. I'm not a fan. I don't follow her. The lady on the right, I think her name is Iyanla or something like that. I can't remember her name because, you know, I don't follow these chicks. So, you know, I just saw the clip and I wanted to, you know, react to it. And there was some things in here that I know more men follow me than women. And I wanted to hear from my men followers. I wanted to hear from my men subscribers on you know, this in particular video. Like I said, I'm not a woman hating type of podcast. I rarely do these videos, but I do want to hear from my men. I don't think a lot of men out there are supporting men, at least not in the right way. A lot of them come from hurt. But yeah, let's get into it.
You are a lawyer, you have a legal background, and as women in the law, Iyanla, do you believe that lens, that legal lens, informs our perspective and the way we show up in the world as women?
Oh, absolutely. And that's why I got out. Yeah, very, very masculine, very intellectual, almost stripped and robbed of humanity. It really shows the dichotomy between the letter of the law and the spirit of the law. And for me, it just didn't feed my soul. And so I had to get out.
I feel that, and I do feel that I might have heard on a date or two, Iyanla, that we are not in a courtroom, Ebony. You can put the gavel down, and I do feel it can spill over into the way I show up in my womanhood, which is really the center of this conversation today, Iyanla. We want to discuss masculine energy, feminine energy. I do want to start with kind of a news framing.
Hey, that's the first thing that caught my attention watching this video, when she said that, you know, the guy have to tell her, like, we're not in the courtroom. And like, that's the thing with men. Like, women I don't think they take enough time to find the things that men actually like when it comes to, you know, women. Like, they don't try to figure us out enough when it comes to that. They love to figure out if we cheating. They love to figure out, you know what I'm saying, how much money we making, or, you know, how many kids we got. But when it comes to figuring out what we actually like from a woman, they seem like they lacking with that. You know what I mean? And that says a lot. If a guy got to tell you we ain't in the courtroom, you know, he's starting to feel interrogated or whatever, then that's a big problem that you need to figure out with yourself. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing wrong with being a sophisticated woman. Ain't nothing wrong with being intellectual or being able to articulate yourself well. But when you start to come off like, you know, like an interrogator or something like that, or when you start pushing off masculine energy, period, on men, that's when you start seeing men start to fade away and back off. Like, you got to look yourself in the mirror and say, damn, what am I doing wrong? And I think a lot of women, because they're educated, because they, you know, feel like they have some type of education or whatever, they feel as if they're not doing anything wrong. You can't tell them nothing.
Which is that women's rights across the country, especially black women's rights, they're under attack. Lots of laws are banning abortions. They are regulating what we can and cannot do with our bodies. What do you think happens for black women when this type of siege is
Well, I'm gonna just say this: it ain't just black women. That law applies to, all women. It didn't just apply to black women. That's the first thing. And second thing, the reason why it seems like women's rights are being attacked is because women support homosexuality. Now, I don't have nothing against homosexual people, but I'm speaking facts. Women they support homosexuality and transgenderness the most. You don't see men parading, not real men. You don't see them running around parading Pride Week or Pride Month or however it goes. You don't see men running around like that. You don't see men running around with rainbow flags, supposed to be straight men running around with rainbow flag. Women do this all the time. Women don't have a problem with their son or daughter being homosexual. So if your rights are being attacked, look what you supporting the wrong side. At the end of the day, I feel like it's nothing wrong with, having a friend, or it's nothing wrong with a person. If they homosexual, that's their lifestyle. But you can't complain about y'all rights being attacked when you support everything that's gonna. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it. You are supporting the same people that are attacking your rights. I don't know. Make it make sense.
At play, and we don't feel we have anyone to protect us.
Right. Well, the first thing I think we do is we go into anger. We go into anger without a clear ask. Doesn't make sense to be angry unless you've got to ask. What is it that you're asking for? People can say anything in the world, but that doesn't mean that they get a right to do it. It doesn't mean that they get a right to affect you. But because so many of us are programmed and conditioned and educated to think like men, we respond like men. And when I mean men, I don't mean two-legged beasts. I mean in the masculine energy, and it becomes competitive, it becomes aggressive, it becomes againstness, and that's not who we are as women. It just isn't. And I think for Black women, particularly for us, the way that we've been programmed and conditioned and educated in the society to expect less, to accept less, to be angry and to complain, but to not really step into our authentic self, our authentic power as women, and create what we want, even if that's create the demand. Oh no, not here, not today.
Okay, I hear you articulating, Iyanla, this masculine energy traits, the competitiveness, the assertiveness. Tell me how you would frame feminine traits. Aggressive. Okay.
Grace.
Aggressive.
Yeah, aggressive, not assertive. It's okay for a woman to be assertive. Grace, first of all. I think we've lost our grace. We move in such a harsh and hard way. Grace, compassion, nurturing, nourishing, elegance. How about majesty? How about divinity? How about holiness? This is not a language you hear coming out of most women's mouths, but they'll talk about being a boss, being a diva, being, in charge. And many of us are either not seated in our throne as queens, or we're in the throne and the crown is crooked, meaning we're in the throne and we don't really know how to hold that place without the masculine aggressiveness and demanding and attachment. And it's killing us. It really is.
So in a recent interview,
that caught me right there. Like you could tell just watching the chick on the left side. You can definitely tell that she's hearing her, but she's not listening to her. You can tell that it's registering, but she's still gonna have her own mindset and her own opinion, which she should. But I don't think she's feeling it. I don't think she's feeling it. To be honest with you, she spoke on the fact that the lady on the right, Aliana, whatever, she spoke to the fact that she was on the Breakfast Club. Some of y'all may know about it, but she spoke to that, and she said that, she saw that it went viral from the things that she was saying, and that's why she wanted her to come on her platform. And I think that's what it really is about. That's what it really is about with some of these people. I think a lot of these internet people, man, they do certain things to you know, push a narrative. I don't think it has really nothing to do with them in particularly. I think some of it does, you know, because they act out their frustration a lot of times, but a lot of times it's just about views and subscribers, you know, so they push a certain type of narrative in order to get that. I'm not saying that's exactly what she's doing. Like I told y'all earlier in the video, I do not know her. I don't, you know, subscribe to her. I just saw this and I felt like, man, we got to talk about this right here, man. But yeah, let's get back into it.
Interview with our dear friends over at the Breakfast Club that went very viral for very good reason. You said that women are being trained to be men in skirts. I will acknowledge, I will say I was triggered. I was a hit dog, and I hollered to the entire production team to get you here today, because I actually think you're right. I think you're right, Iyanla. I do think that, I'll just speak for myself vulnerably. When I think of a masculine posture and what I would expect a man to do in my life, two things come top of mind, and they are provide and they are protect. And when my lived experience, and I think I'm still relatively young, I guess, but I'm 40 in September. So, you know, I've had some relationships. And I've yet to find a man who has shown, I mean, this includes even my father, who was absent. I've yet to have a male energy that provided or protected me.
Now that's sad. That's sad. Obviously, this girl is a beautiful young lady. She's 40 years old. She's a lot older than me, but she, you know, she's beautiful. She looks like, you know, somebody that, you know, should be able to hold down a relationship. But I don't get this whole thing why women, and it's like I said, again, it's not just black women. It's all races of women. I don't get where they get this thing about providing and protecting. Like, I get the providing part, but protecting, like, what are you talking about when you speak on protecting? You know what I mean? And a lot of times when they say that, they don't even elaborate when they talk about protecting. Protecting like what? Like what do you, like, a lot of us men don't even really understand. Like, I don't understand. I'm gonna be real with y'all. I don't get that part of it. Are you talking about if we at a club and somebody come and grab you on the ass and I'm standing right there, I should step in? Is that what you talking about? Because if you've been dealing with men that has been doing that, then yeah, I could see your frustration. You know what I mean? I can see where where you're a little frustrated with men. But as far as protecting, I hate when they speak of that because they don't really elaborate. And I don't feel like she elaborated when it came to this video. So like, somebody in the comment section, let me know what that mean. You know what I mean? And I'm talking about a woman. Let me know what that mean. I don't fully understand it.
Consistently ever.
Protecting.
So
what are y'all talking about?
I have taken on the reins to protect and provide for myself, because what I'm not going to do, Iyanla, is be without. Baby, it's not happening.
Be without what?
So that.
And another thing, since they always speaking about black women, a lot of men don't like that. All this baby, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. We like independent women, but we don't like forceful women. We don't like another masculine person. I'm not going to be dating somebody that's just as masculine as I am. You know what I mean? As far as making the same amount of money that I'm making or more, I have no problem with it. You know, I'm not, you know, a lot of women think that men are intimidated by them just because they may make more than them or they may have a better career going. That's not the point. Sometimes men do feel like, you know, well, I should be better, but it's mainly with how men feel about themselves. I should be better in life, or I should be further in life with my career, and seeing his woman further in her career. It doesn't, I wouldn't say that it intimidates them. I'll just say, you know, it kind of, you know, puts them in a slight depression mode, you know, but it's not intimidation. Most women think that men are intimidated by them just because they're educated and just because they may have a better career going, you know what I'm saying? But I think a lot of women that acts like her are scorned. You know what I'm saying? Are scarred. She said that she didn't have a father in her life. So that's the first damn problem. You know what I mean? That's the first problem. So it's really not the men, it's you and what you're going through internally. you know. But that's the thing. They have these conversations on these platforms, acting like they're for women when they only doing it just to get a bunch of damn views and subscribers. You know what I'm saying? They're internally hurt in some type of way. So they push these narratives and make it seem like, oh, they're all for the women and trying to teach and coach the women. But you ain't doing nothing but, you ain't doing nothing but hurting them in the end.
That would
What?
be without protection,
What is
and be
protection?
without the necessities of life.
Okay.
But I say that with an invitation, Iyanla, check me. Show me the error of my ways. Tell me how I might be missing it, because I might be.
And that's the thing too. When she say that, show me the error of my ways. Now, when they say that, are they really trying to hear an older woman out? Because a lot of these young girls don't be wanting to hear no elders. They think they too soft. They think they too old school. When if you go back to the old school ways actually work 100 times more than nowadays for whatever reason. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But that's just me being sarcastic about it. I do know a lot of women back in the day, they stuck with their men through and through, no matter the situation. Women nowadays feel like, I'm not taking it. I'm not having it. If it ain't going my way, it's the highway type of situation. And that's why a lot of them are 40 years old and unmarried. You know what I mean? It's not all women, but I'm actually just basically speaking to this video. You know what I mean? That's what I'm talking about. So I don't, like I said before, I don't want to seem like a woman hating type of guy. I'm not. I live with a woman, I'm with a woman and I love women. So no, and I have 2 daughters. So no, I'm not against women at all. You know what I'm saying? How would I look having 2 daughters and being a woman hating type of guy? No, that's not it at all. I just see a lot of wrongdoing with women that they don't see. I see a lot of wrongdoing with us as men. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of times men can admit their wrongdoing. Women seem to be where they feel like especially when they're educated, oh my God, they feel like they can't be wrong at all. Am I right or am I wrong?
Okay. I too am an alpha woman. So I understand what that means. And I tell people all the time, I was a horrible mother. I was a great father.
What does that mean?
And I was a horrible mother because
I was with you
I'd
until
never
that.
been mothered. So I didn't know how to affirm, how to nurture, how to nourish, how to guide. I knew how to direct, how to demand, how to discipline, and like you said, provide and protect. Those are masculine energies. And the distinction here is men build, women create. So we know how to build. We know how to get to the external and get the work done and drive and push and do it. We don't know how to be still, create it, and allow it to come to us. And I learned that when I lost everything. I learned how to create because I had already built and it all crumbled. The house, the husband, the job, the contracts, the professional career in the world, stripped of it all the attachments, the necessities of life, the creature comforts, until I was stripped down to the bare bone. And then I had to learn how not to build. Build is external. Create is internal. And we as women have the power to create and attract anything we desire.
She breathing all hard. She ain't
we
feeling
won't
that.
get still. We won't shut up. And we manage everything through fear. Control.
Oh my God. She said something then. It was simple, but oh my God. She said something then. We don't shut up. And I'm not saying like when a man talking, you better shut up. I'm not talking like that. I'm just speaking like in the sense of like when women become educated, they just yap. They set their standards so high. And I'm not saying you shouldn't have standards. Every person, man or woman, should have some type of standards. But when you set them so high, when you know yourself that you are internally damaged, you're not perfect, why do you expect this man to be perfect if you know that you're not? You know what I'm saying? And I'm speaking for, not these podcasters, not these people that's on the internet. I'm speaking for like working class people out there. You know what I'm saying? I know a lot of women most women like her on the girl on the left side. Most women like her. I don't see on the regular. I see women that's working hard, and they will give you a chance, especially if you coming at them correct. I see that in the world. So don't get me wrong. It's not like I see every woman like the girl Ebony K. I don't see every female like that. But in a sense, you can't have your standards set. That's just like with a man. A man ain't gonna come into the situation like, oh, you ain't got this type of nails. You ain't got this type of weave in your hair. Man, hell no. I ain't messing with you. I ain't, you know what I'm saying? You ain't got, you BBL, you ain't got, I ain't messing with you. You rarely catch men like that. Of course, like everybody gonna have their standards or their preference. They may like, some men may like big girls, some men may like skinny girls, some men may like light skinned, some men may like dark skinned. You know, everybody have their preference. It's cool to have a preference. You know what I'm saying? But to set a standard so high when you know that mentally you are damaged, come on, man, you can't do that. You can't do that.
And survival. As opposed to feeling, knowing, and blooming or flourishing. Complete different thing. But since we've never been trained, we haven't been trained, we haven't been taught. So we do it the way we were taught to do it, which is very masculine in nature.
And very external. I feel that you are describing me to a T, Mr. Iyanla. Now, is this why you are conducting a rites of passage program so that women, all of Black women in particular, can learn to create?
Women, so that we can learn our authentic power, that we can learn the distinction between a powerful woman and a woman in her power. There's a distinction, but there are skills and tools and practices and processes that we have to learn. At every age, the 20s have a process, the 30s have a process, the 40s have a 50, 60. We each have a process. And if you don't learn your 20 process, you're going to be doing it at 50. If you don't complete your 30 process, you're going to be doing it at 60. And that means you'll be running on overdrive instead of seated in your power. Yes. And the secrets are there. They come from our culture. They come from our history, but no one has taught us. So me, as a descendant of Africans and Native Americans, I have a very lovely blend.
And see, that's the thing. I think more older women like her that, you know, she's more understanding than these young girls. Look at the girl face on the left side. I don't know what's going on in her brain. I'm not gonna act like I know her like that, but it don't seem like she's taking heed as much. You know, I could be wrong, but I'm just, you know, this is just my opinion. I don't feel like she's really, you know, understand. That's why I feel like the older women should have a platform more so than these younger women, because the younger women are already hurting, but you know, and already scoring behind things that happened in their past. So I don't think they, you know, are the best type of people to have. And I know a lot of, you know, young men and women would like to see people of their, you know, age group that has a platform and, you know, somebody that they relate to better or relate to more. I get that, because I'm like that as well. Like, you know, I like to see somebody around my age group that's speaking, you know, speaking about certain things, and certain things from older people I like to hear too. So it's like, but I do think some of these older women like her need to have their own platform to speak what she's speaking right now, because we only hear it, you know, briefly when they get on certain platforms like the Breakfast Club or like her platform. That's the only time we hear it, and we don't hear it enough. You know what I mean? We only hear these young women tearing down men. You know what I'm saying? We don't hear enough of women building up men. You know what I mean? Especially they act as if there's no good men out here, period. You know, so yeah, man, we're not gonna stay too long. You know what I mean? I'm just gonna get through it a little bit, you know what I mean? But we ain't gonna stay too long.
Mix. And I just, for a long time, I didn't do it because women in general, they don't want to hear. They think their way is right. And I'm crazy when I say sit down, shut up, and listen, and you can create what you want. They don't want to hear that.
Well, I want to hear it. So tell me when the sign up is. I don't want to miss it. Let me know when you're taking registrations, because I am
Right now.
curious. I had a very lovely single black mother, and I'm going to get to the statistics on single black motherhood and family life. But she was, by definition, more of a father figure in terms of providing and protecting. And I think that's very common. So according to the U.S. Census, Iyanla, 23% of households in the country are single-parent households, and we know 80% of them are led by women. How does this affect the child? Both little girls, little boys, non-binary children. How does that frame their expectation of women when the mother is in charge?
It all depends on what the mother or the woman demonstrates about being a woman. If she's demonstrating that it's hard and it's rough and nobody's helping me and I got to do this and you got to do it this way, that's what the children are going to get. If she's angry because she's alone, if she's desperate because if she's not conscious, if she's not careful. I mean, when I look at the damage that I did to my children, not being clear about who I am as a feminine expression of the chief architect and creator of the universe. When I understand that I didn't know that and how to tap into that and the damage I did to my children who I love with all my heart. As soon as I discovered how off I was, I confessed it to them and asked them to watch me as I rebuilt who I was.
Facts.
And I'm still very alpha, but I'm in my throne and my crown is straight.
Facts.
Okay. I'm looking forward to straightening my crown, Dr. Iyanla. Let me ask you this. Let's get to the logistics, though.
Damn the logistics. I hope that she's really sincere about what she's saying. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said in the beginning, a lot of these podcast platforms, I think a lot of times they only have people on. Like she said, she saw her on the Breakfast Club. So that sparked something in her to want to have her on her show. And she knew that if she have her on the show, those numbers going to go up. You know what I'm saying? Anytime you have two people debating on a show, your numbers is going to rise, you know, especially on topics like this, femininity and masculinity. That's going crazy on the internet nowadays. So, you know, of course, if you see that and you're a person that wants this type of attention, you're going to try to pay whatever you got to pay a person to have them on to speak like that. But like I said at the beginning, man, that's exactly, you know, the last bit of what Iyanla said. Iyanla, I'm sorry I can't pronounce her name, but Iyanla is the last part of what she said, you know, about her, you know, it depends on what type of mindset the woman is, you know what I'm saying, as far as how the kids turn out. And that's man, that she couldn't have said it no better, man, because that's facts. A lot of women when they divorce or they break up with their boyfriend, their baby fathers, they become bitter women. You know what I'm saying? Of course it's going to be hard when you're a single parent. Of course. But that's why you have that man there to co-parent. But a lot of them don't want to co-parent because maybe they feel like that the man done them so wrong. And they don't either they don't want to deal with them, period, or the only way they're going to deal with them is if they, you know, become one again. You know what I mean? That's why I was saying we need more women like this older woman here to have a platform to speak to not just black women, but speak to young women, period. You know, or whatever woman is gonna listen. We need these type of women. You know what I'm saying? We don't need these younger women, these modern day women, you know, well, they can be on the platform, you know what I'm saying? But as somebody like a student, they need to be on there as a student and not treat the older people like they don't know what they talk about. Obviously, they know what they talking about because they've been on this earth way longer than we have. You know what I mean? So we need more guidance from the elders, man. Like we so quick to dismiss the elders, man. And I'm one of the type of people, I love to sit down and talk to the elders. I love to, you know, pick their brains on things, you know what I mean? But nowadays, this generation, we don't do that enough, you know what I mean? And like I said, I definitely believe she needs her own platform to speak like this. I know she had a little show, you know, but she need a platform like this to speak to the younger generation. Hopefully they'll listen. A lot of times they don't. I don't want to hold y'all any longer. I'm not trying to, it's 10:50 on this video. I'm going to put the video down in the description so y'all can watch the whole thing if y'all want to. But yeah, man, tell me what y'all think about this little conversation that they had. Like I said, we need to uplift the men, you know what I'm saying? And I'm talking about in multiple ways when it comes to financials, when it comes to just the mental and physical appearance and just mentally with a man. We need to build that up instead of just letting these women come on these platforms and drag us like they do. You know what I'm saying? Completely drag us. And I know it's men out there doing the same thing as well, but I just see it more often. I'm just seeing more and more different podcasters, different, people, different women coming out, just dragging men like as if it ain't no good men out there. And there are some good men out there. Like, trust and believe that. But yeah, let me know what y'all think down in the comment section. Y'all already know who it is and what it is. We out.